Alastair Spink, thank you very much for joining us. You're the founder of love.golf, which is a social group coaching program for women. So you're in a good position to know what is it that motivates women to try golf.
Thanks, Gary. Well, I think it can be such a variety of different motivators. But I think if I had to pick one, I think one that shines through amongst all the others, it's very simple. It's just being outdoors and having that opportunity to breathe in fresh air, hopefully look up at blue sky and green grass, beneath your feet. I think,
And what about the group dynamic? Because that is something that's very specific to love.golf. Traditionally, coaching, if you're starting golf, it's kind of quite often it's a kind of a one-to-one thing on a range. Love.golf is straight out there. You're a group. You're straight out on the golf course. Tell us how important those elements are.
Well, I think that togetherness is really important. So I think a lot of the women that come to love.golf, they'll come individually, so occasionally with friends, but quite often they've taken quite a large step, if you like, to come along. And so it's really important that the group has the opportunity to glue itself together, with the coach taking a bit of a sideline to that. So it's not all about the coach. It's the women coming together. As you say, we go out on the golf course really quickly in the first session. The women take the lead in that session. So I'm still there. I'm still supporting, helping, and encouraging. But the women have the opportunity to organise themselves, have a go, celebrate the good ones. Don't get too upset about the bad ones. And I think that's just the first step to creating that cohesive group that will stay together.
Now, love.golf is founded on both an academic background. You've done an MSc at the University of Birmingham, kind of looking at kind of gender discrimination and various things, and applying that to golf. And you're going on further with that academic study, and it's combined with market research, the Syngenta market research. But this, the work that women in sport have been doing, and looking at these 6 spheres of influence, the kind of the triggers, the motivators for women to take up sport. How true are some of those motivational factors, those spheres of influence, those 6 spheres of influence? How important are they in terms of golf, in your opinion?
Yeah, I think they're absolutely spot on. And I actually once I'd read through the report, I challenged myself to see, is there any I would add? And actually, I don't think there is. I think they've come up with some really good, 6 really headline topics that could be really useful for coaches, golf clubs, and the whole of the industry to put some plans to.
Which are the most relevant, do you think, to golf and the way that golf presents itself, positions itself, and ultimately the value proposition it communicates to prospective customers?
I would say there's probably 2. I would go with possibilities. I think it's really important to show women, that maybe golf's not on their radar, and actually it could be, and they can come and play golf, and they can be really good at it. But perhaps probably one that sits above that is this sense of belonging. And I think being part of something, feeling welcome, feeling valued, and having an input into their experience, I think is really key. And as I say, when I was looking for headings, yes, I could come up with those words, but I think they just sit really well into that topic of belonging.
And so from a golf perspective, how does a golf course or a golf club get that right for the customer coming in? Because quite often it's kind of a golf club or a golf course may present things in the way it's always done, but how does it need to be different for that prospective customer to really engage them and really make them become a committed customer?
I think it starts with club has to change its mindset, and I think by the club I mean top to bottom. So whether it's privately run as a members club or proprietary owned, everyone has to buy into this mindset, and it's a mindset of growth and as you say of changing the way that maybe they've done things in the past, and looking at and experimenting with different possibilities. I go to quite a lot of golf clubs, and they will say they're family friendly, or they will say all welcome, but are they? And in my experience, a lot have put that on a board at the front of the drive, but actually, it's got to go way beyond that. So I think to start, the club has to challenge itself. It has to review the lens that it looks at itself, and it's really difficult, I think, for a lot of golf clubs to look through a very neutral lens, so not gendered in either way, but just as a golfer. And perhaps start again, drive outside the golf club, 2 miles away, turn around, transform themselves into non-golfers, drive back through the gates, and just try and view it through that lens. I just think that's that's just a fascinating way to view it, and I think a club would be really surprised at what they can see themselves. And I don't mean that in a negative way, because growth mindset is all about looking at possibilities and being positive. So I think there's lots of really good experiences that can come out of quite a simple exercise, and then just back that up by speaking to customers. But again, non-golfers speak to those that maybe are considering golf, maybe just wishing to use the clubhouse for coffee and hook into the Wi-Fi, and just getting a really broad feedback from as many different people as possible.
Now, one of the things we're talking about is the role of tournaments and role models. Now, you recently took a group of love.golfers, if we can call them that, up to Glen Eagles for the Solheim Cup. And for many of them, that might have been the first time they'd ever been to a golf tournament or even kind of a prestigious a golf resort. What was that experience like? Did it inspire them? What was the reaction? But I suppose ultimately, how important could tournaments, elite athletes, and perhaps even celebrity role models be in attracting new players into the sport?
Yeah, I mean, it was an amazing experience to organise the group, and as you say, probably nearly all of that 120, they're relatively new golfers, so it was pretty much the first time that they'd been to see a golf event, let alone the Solheim, let alone a women's event. So we had lots of great feedback. They loved the atmosphere. They used words as buzzing. There was that real buzz around the first tee and out on the golf course. And of course, the beauty of the Solheim, certainly around that first tee area, is that sure, the players were engaging in a battle, if you like, but they were also engaging with the crowds. And I think that was really important for those women to see the team as, yes, some of the best players in the world, but actually, they were still having a really great time, and wanted the supporters to be part of that great experience. So I think, yeah, massive. I mean, I think if we can show more of that on TV for women's sport, that's not bypassing skill, ability, or anything, but just showing that engagement side of it is really important. I think if you're looking to inspire a new generation of golfers.
Now, tell us, we talked about the academic work that you've been doing, the MSc that you previously did. What's next for you? You're obviously still running love.golf. That's growing. You're looking at Spain. Yeah. You're doing some work in Sweden. So you're taking that program further. But what about the academic work? What next for you?
Yeah. Well, I think my MSc focused on girls' experiences of golf. So as they were juniors growing up in golf club. So I wanted to kind of take that a step further. So I'm now embarking on PhD, which is daunting, but I'm really excited about it. And as I say, to take it to the next stage. So to spend time with a group of women across hopefully a number of different countries, engage with those women just at the moment where they're considering giving golf a go, and then staying with those groups over a 2 or 3 year period, and and trying to document their experiences, but most importantly for me, through their eyes. I'm a bloke that's played golf all of their life. I was reasonably good once. As I said earlier about looking at golf clubs, I don't know what it's like to walk into a golf club as a new golfer, and I don't know what it's like to walk into a golf club as a female new golfer. So I just want to document their stories, not overly, hopefully, looking at the negativity and the challenges, but just more about the experiences and the rewarding experiences that these women hopefully will encounter over this period of time.
And ultimately, all good businesses need to understand their customers, and I guess it's translating those insights and understandings into the ultimate product that golf clubs, golf courses, and indeed golf coaches offer in terms of engagement of customers.
Yeah, I think absolutely right. I think sometimes we overthink it, and we go down to such a depth of knowledge, when sometimes perhaps we just need to look at it through fresh eyes, and probably hopefully, as in my research, not my eyes, but particularly through new golfers.
Well, Alastair Spink, we wish you well with the PhD and also with the ongoing work with love.golf. Alastair Spink, thank you very much for talking to us.